and we had some fun banter going on during the session, which I always enjoy. Anyway, oh, Jesus, I'm gonna faint, so I'm gonna have to... Right, okay. Hello, it's Tuesday the 12th of June, so it's early afternoon. I went out to get my tattoo this morning. My appointment was at 11. Let me go. So I got there in my electric chair, and then I discovered the first problem, which is that there's a step into the shop, a huge one, and there's no ramp, and the chair won't go up it. So I sort of sat there and thought about it for a while, and remembered that in the past, because I haven't been for so long, the last time I went there and all the other times, I always went with my ex Jamie, and he would push the chair for me, and then on the step I'd just get out and he'd just easily lift the chair over it, because it was a manual chair and it weighs about 15 kilos or something. But when I had the electric chair, I didn't know if I could ask anyone to lift it, and I was a bit stressed out about going into this cool tattoo shop and sort of saying, oh please could somebody help me get my electric wheelchair inside. But in the end I did do that, and it took them a little while to sort of understand the situation, but once they did, a couple of the guys were happy to just help me dismantle it and lift it into the shop, and then I just left it in there while I went to get my tattoo, so that problem was solved. My artist, when I told him, said that they might look into getting a ramp, because he actually has a close relative who's a wheelchair user as well, and so he understands about the sort of problems that it can cause. But that was, you know, minor, it's dealt with. It was just a little bit embarrassing, especially because there were so many other customers in there. Anyway, I spoke to the artist about what he thinks we should do this session, because I had this little gap on my foot that just felt like it needed its own tattoo to fill it, but it was too small for most things, and I already had a sort of giant hermit crab on there, so I wanted something that would go there and just fill the little gap next to the hermit crab. And I'll show you what my foot looked like before, so you can see what I'm talking about. So the artist asked me if I had any ideas, and I said I was thinking about, I don't know. So then he suggested that I put a little shrimp there because it fits with the theme. They're small, so it would make sense to have a small tattoo of one, and they're quite cute little, you know, underwater creatures. And I said, you know what, I actually do keep a colony of shrimp in a big fish tank. And so we decided it was perfect, and we went straight ahead with the shrimp, and he just sat there and drew it for me in front of me, so I could actually see a bit of his process, which was interesting. He used to work with traditional media, but he now uses an iPad to draw on digitally. And then I had the tattoo and he made up the background for it all as he went along, and I think that that worked really well. There was just a nice flow to it, and I felt as if he was just having fun doing a painting rather than trying to power through doing a tattoo, you know. The pain was nothing as usual. It was really minor, certainly nothing compared to the hEDS pain that I have every day. So after I left, I could tell that something was kind of wrong. I think I just realised that I wasn't fully conscious. I sort of randomly drove into a cafe in my wheelchair thinking maybe I needed a cup of tea with sugar in, and then I just crashed into a bunch of tables and chairs, and then I was really embarrassed, so I just drove off and left, and people were all just standing there looking gobsmacked, and that was like really bad. I went to the bus stop and there was about a 20-minute wait for the bus, so I randomly drove around a bit more, went back and got on the bus. And as soon as I was on the bus, I realised I'm probably not going to be able to stay conscious now. I don't know how to explain it, but if you've ever fainted or you've ever been about to faint and then just tried really, really hard to fight it and just keep fighting it, that's what it's like, but you know that you're just going to go at some point and there's nothing you can do. So I was really stressed out. I kept tightening the seatbelt on my wheelchair because I thought it would hold me in the chair in the event that I go completely unconscious and limp, which luckily didn't happen, but I mean, I was out. I don't know what happened, really, but obviously I guess I somehow managed to automatically get off the bus, and then I was aware of being in the garden, but again I couldn't stay conscious and I couldn't stay sitting up in the chair even with the belt holding me in, so I had to lie down on the grass for about half an hour and I fell asleep, although I think it was more like losing consciousness, to be honest, and then woke up and managed to get the energy to, you know, get the keys out and lock the door and get in here. So I know that that happened because I had a tattoo which puts your body through quite a lot more than you realise when you're getting it, and it is typical for me to have some sort of reaction after leaving and having had the tattoo. Something like this, like complete exhaustion, but this was really severe and quite frightening, and I was alone and there's nobody else here, so yeah, it was scary. But anyway, I think what I'm going to do is just go and make a cup of tea. I was just watching my fish tank, which I do quite a lot, and suddenly spotted this other little baby fish in there. So I managed to sneak up on him and catch him in a jug, and I'm going to put him in a little separate thing so I can keep an eye on him and make sure that the adults don't eat him. I think that it's a guppy. There it is.